Welcome to the 11th Annual Chandler Sports Hall of Fame induction ceremony and luncheon. The Chandler Sports Hall of Fame honors athletes, coaches, administrators, and teams who have brought recognition to Chandler through their athletic achievements. This year's outstanding class will stand side by side with previous inductees, including Zora Foley, Adam Archuleta, Lindsay Taylor, John Wren, Cody Ransom, Cameron Jordan, Dan Kuiper, Eddie Wilson, and the 1999 Chandler High School Lady Wolves basketball team. The Chandler Sports Hall of Fame class of 2014 is Elena Bergsma, Melissa Buell, Brianna Leslie, Dominique Lamb Marshall, Carl Mickelson, Dr. Wayne Nickel, Eric Richardson, and the 2003 Hamilton Huskies baseball team. Congratulations to the newest Chandler Sports Hall of Famers.
So when it hit me that I could be a volleyball player, this is going to sound crazy, but I was in 5th grade, and I wrote down that I'm going to be a college volleyball player. And my mom, was like, okay, sweetheart, like, we're going to see. And I really didn't know what that meant, and I actually said I wanted to be an All-American. And I had no idea what I was talking about, but the girls that I was idolizing, the girls that I was following, that's what they were doing. And I was like, I'm going to do that too. My parents are incredibly supportive. There's no way I'd be where I am if it wasn't for them. My mom trucked all over the city to all my games, not only just for the high school games, but also for the club games, traveling around the country. She jokes around because the one tournament she missed in my 10 years of playing volleyball, I got hurt. So after that, she came always. And having the opportunity to play in the national championship it was unreal. Stuff that I had dreamed about since I was little, and getting to speak at the All-American banquet and those things that I just would have never imagined were incredible. So the first time I put on my Team USA jersey and we're listening to the national anthem before the game starts, I almost lost it. All of a sudden, your heart starts racing. It's like, this is happening, this is real. That was definitely a difficult moment for me, but a happy one. At the same time, it's, you're trying to calm your heart and catch your breath and everything for getting ready to play, but at the same time, it's like, this is happening. I'm in this jersey. And just being little and never even thinking that that was a possibility, but knowing, it's one of those dreams out there that's like, maybe I could do that someday, we'll see. And when I first went to college, I didn't even know if I'd be able to play professionally. I didn't know if I was going to be that good, and just being able to make all these things happen has been incredible. It's an incredible feeling. I guess I never would have thought that that was even a possibility growing up. Being inducted to my hometown Hall of Fame is just incredible. I've had so many great opportunities, and just the people and the caliber of people that are part of the Hall of Fame is incredible. I mean, growing up watching Courtney Blocker, watching the Valley Christian volleyball team, the girls that I wanted to be, and just now being recognized on the same level with them is definitely an honor.
Here we go, Melissa Buell in the gate on the right. Billy Gatto on the left, Canada versus USA. This is for all the marbles for the gold medal here at Craig Works.
Well, Buell gets a flying start there. Gatto is going to play catch up, but Gatto looking faster through there, but Buell doubling.
I was a tomboy growing up. I wanted to try every sport there was, and my dad was not having it. He signed me up for every girl thing you could think of, from cheerleading to dance, and I just wanted to do what my brother was doing. He and a couple of the neighborhood friends of his were doing BMX, and I wanted to try that. Took forever to convince my dad that he would let me do it, but once he finally agreed, that was 9, and I just started racing BMX at 9 years old, and from BMX went to mountain biking, and that was from 9 until 30, I just played on bikes. Racing bikes for me, and I'm fortunate, it was always fun. Definitely when you're getting older and you're getting into a lifestyle of an adult, and you're starting to focus on the future with a career afterwards, and then you have the pressure of wanting your sponsors to be happy with you. I was fortunate to have great sponsors that were proud of me and happy with me with whatever I was doing, but I always wanted to do my best for them. So I think that pressure kind of built, and just the transition from being a little BMX girl, playing in the dirt, having fun, into a full-blown professional traveling the world and in magazines and getting exposure for your sponsors it was pressure, but it was exciting, and I was lucky it never was stressful for me. I enjoyed it the whole time. A lot of the people in my sport, the pinnacle of that sport is winning a world championship title, and for me that was amazing. It was a huge highlight. Like I said, I was on the US team for 15 years, and I won 1 world title, and sometimes it takes somebody their whole career, sometimes they go their whole career and they don't win one of those titles. And I had, plenty of silver medals and bronze medals, but when I finally got that gold, it felt amazing. So I would say that was one of the pinnacles. But there's also been some incredible races that I didn't even win that taught me so much, and I learned so much and enjoyed. So like you said, there's so many races, it's hard to pick, but I would say that the World Championships were the pinnacle.
Did she make up the difference over Melissa Buell? The winner goes to Michaela Gatto, but who's going to go with the gold medal? Melissa Buell takes the gold, and the silver medal goes to Michaela Gatto.
But I definitely didn't think as a 9-year-old kid racing at Chandler BMX that I would be doing it in my 20s and 30s and as a professional. So it's been a long, exciting journey. Well, to be inducted in the Chandler Sports Hall of Fame, it's great. I spent my entire years of racing here and my professional and amateur years racing here. So I went to school at ASU, grew up here, my family's here. So to have my hometown recognize me and my sport, it feels good. It's special.
I started doing track and field 100% for the social life. My friends were doing it, and it was the cool thing to do at Valley Christian, and that's why I joined. I had no expectations going into it. I had no idea if I'd be good or not. I didn't care. My friends were doing it, so.
I was such a mess before I went into track. That might be cliched, but I didn't know anything about hard work or discipline or leadership skills or anything like that. And somehow, Coach Kuiper and Kimberly Goldie and a couple of others who influenced me in a way to make me grow in that direction. They really helped me to mature, but still learn how to have fun with it and not make it my life or anything like that. But I just learned so much from them, and it really opened my eyes to how much potential you can have if you just go about it the right way.
It's rare to meet somebody who goes into track and field wanting to do the heptathlon. I don't think any of us really planned on doing the heptathlon. We usually start in either hurdles or you're a jumper or you're a thrower, and
You occasionally run the 800, and if your coach sees it as a potential way to score more points, you're gonna get thrown in it. They always ask me, at what point did you go underwater? Because it really feels like you're underwater trying to run, and you just can't lift your arms, and you can't lift your legs, and you can't see, for me anyway. I'm just being dramatic, but my vision goes and my hearing goes. I can no longer hear my coaches or the crowd or anything like that for that last 50 meters of the 800. That's how hard it is for me. And I run to the point where afterwards I'm throwing up and seizing and my muscles are spasming and it's all very ugly and dramatic. It's great. And it was exciting, but nerve-wracking for sure, right? My first meet representing Team USA, I never thought that would happen. I remember in high school putting on the Valley Christian jersey and being surprised that I had that, you know, that they would let me run with them and represent them. I was shocked by that. And then the same thing at Azusa. When I got to put on the Azusa Pacific jersey, I felt so much pride in that. I'm representing my college right now. And then you put on Team USA and it's the same feeling, except intensified because it's your country. I still can't quite believe it. It's the same as them telling me, you know, you just received a school record or something like that. I can't quite wrap my head around it, that I'm going into a Sports Hall of Fame anywhere, let alone in Chandler. I'm honored, and I feel like this is hopefully one of many interviews to come.
Grew up running track. Track was my first love, so that's what I knew. My mom grew up running track, and my family is a track family, so track was my first love, and I grew up running. And in 8th grade, my mom told me, hey, you should try something different. And so I tried volleyball, and that's where that whole career started. So I finally feel like I made it. I'm playing, you know, I'm being successful, doing what I want to do, continuing playing volleyball internationally. I fly to Spain, and so I meet the team, I'm practicing, and we are doing this hitting drill. We're playing for about 40 minutes. I'm hitting, and the coach is talking to me, saying, oh, I like you, this is good. And then we do a middle drill exclusively for the middles, and you have to hit 3 balls in a row. So I hit the ball, land, come off, hit the ball, land, never get up. First practice, first time I touched down in a foreign country, following my dreams, finally feel like I made it. Tore my ACL meniscus. First practice internationally. I know I still wanted to play and I knew I could do it, but I think what really drove me is one of the doctors that I had told me I should stop playing. He's like, you should stop playing because as you continue to open up your knee, you're putting more stress on your knee, and I think that kind of drove me a lot more, saying, you don't know my body, you don't know what I can do, but I had a dream. I had a dream to play for the Olympic team. I had a dream to get back on the court and play, and that's with that and my family continuing to motivate me, that's what continued to drive me to play. Without my parents, I don't know where I'd be. They told me to go try something different, and I tried something different. Without them, I don't know. I knew I wouldn't be here because they are the people who continue to push me and cheer me on and keep me facing forward when I just wanted to run away from it all. I'm grateful to be inducted into the Hall of Fame because there's some great people there already, and I know there's great people to come. But for me, it's an amazing experience, and one that I probably won't even be able to fathom until sometime after. But I just want to say thank you for this amazing, amazing accomplishment that I get to say that I'm a part of, the whole city in Arizona. You know, it's me, it's what people helped me to become. So this is for everybody that's helped me throughout my lifetime, because it's really taken a village to get me to where I am now. So I just say thank you for that.
going to high school states was probably the first big meet that I'd say I'd actually ever been to was my freshman year. It's kind of eye-opening, even though now looking back on it, it wasn't too big, but for me, when you're 14 years old, it's a pretty big deal. And having a little bit of success there kind of, I think, kick-started what made me want to stick with the sport of swimming. In high school, it was pretty fun, especially my senior year when I broke the state record. That was kind of when I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. That was a 19-year-old state record. It's not a lot of people that can say that they accomplished that. So I think at the time going into high school, I was kind of riding a pretty neat little high. Or going into college, I was riding a pretty neat little high. And I think that's what really set me up for success when I actually got down to U of A. But when you're going into a team that's full of Olympians and national champions, and you're just kind of the little guy who just kind of won high school states in Arizona, not a big swimming state, there was a lot of pressure, I would say, just keep up in practices and try to learn from the older guys. And I think that is kind of why I had so much success early in my freshman year, because basically after 3 or 4 months there, I was kind of already keeping up with them, and I already kind of somewhat proven myself as capable of being on the team. Being a dark horse to make the Olympic team going to the meet was pretty awesome. I was pretty good at all the strokes, but breaststroke was what I was best at. My dad happened to be a breaststroker, so I think for me it kind of probably just genetics. I never thought that I'd be inducted at any sort of Hall of Fame, really. It's not something that a lot of people can say, so it's a pretty awesome experience. Can't wait to see how this all turns out in a few months, but it's something that I'll definitely look back on probably when I'm older in life and think that's pretty neat.
And the first skiing experience started out with a friend of mine, and they kept saying, "Have you ever water skied? Boy, this is more fun." So I thought, that really looks like fun. I was on the shore watching them. And so they strapped the ski on me, and they started from a dock up there. You sat on the dock, and then they stretched the rope out and just popped you out of the water. Well, it was always a big joke for these people, because a neophyte would usually just get up and wreck. And they go 3 or 4 times till they finally get it figured out. Well, I was so lucky. I just, the first time, popped right up on that ski and just went all over the place. Louis Covert, his boat with his monstrous Mercury engine, and me being a little smaller in stature, the bigger guys couldn't ski well behind the outboard because it just took so much to get the bigger guys out of the water, where the littler individuals could get in a smaller composite ball to be pulled out before the boat can get on plane. Lou Covert came up and asked, "Would you like to ski in the marathons behind the outboard that we've been using for these class races?" And I said, "Well, certainly." So we started skiing the marathon series and entering me in the men's over 40 division in that whole series, and just did really, really well. There's balance skiers, and then there's muscle skiers. The muscle skiers just kind of plow through everything. The balance skiers, they're like ballet dancers. They float and hop on those waves and bounce around on everything. And I was one of the latter, obviously, weighing all of 160 pounds. and that was soaking wet.
I was born into athletics, actually. My dad had started out as a physical director at YMCA, so we got involved in all the programs. And my father was a coach and stuff, and, all the time that we were growing up. And I think I was maybe 10 or 12, and he told me I needed to stop being so selfish and give something back. And I'm like, I don't have anything. So he said, you need to give something back. So he made me coach the 8 and unders. And I think, and they did really well. And I don't know if it was actually my coaching or we just had some really good little 8 and under kids and stuff, but that was my first experience with coaching. I believe in mental toughness and determination and things of that nature. And so we really strive to get kids to believe that they have no limits, that they have no any outside guidelines that can stop you from being successful. I mean, too many times in our society, there's always an excuse where we don't allow those things. And we put a tremendous amount of physical demands on our kids, and I think we put more strenuous mental demands on them and don't allow them, to crack. And a lot of people call it tough love and stuff, but it's been successful.
I'm never going to be comfortable with this because I don't do a lot of interviews. Number one, because I'm not the one out there, blood, sweat, and tears, and they want to do interviews. I always tell them to go interview the kids, So this is kind of different, because you got to blow your own horn, and you don't want to do that. You let the work speak for itself. But I'm extremely proud and blessed to be a member of it, especially when I went back and looked and saw the people that you guys have inducted in past years and stuff. It's a huge deal, so it's a tremendously proud moment.
Well, the program was just getting going in 03. We started in 98, 99 season. But the 03 team really began in 02 when CJ was a junior. And on paper, it wasn't the strongest team we had, but it may be one of the best teams we ever had. Just because of that camaraderie and they knew each other and they played well together.
I was, ace pitcher. When I wasn't pitching, I was playing shortstop. I was kind of the leader, and you kind of got to mold everybody together, and everybody knew their part. Everybody had a role. Everybody was versatile, and it just when all those pieces kind of fit in together, and you can slide. When Ferris was playing short, when I was pitching, he could slide over to third. When I was playing short, then Pete would go to first, or he'd be pitching, or it was very strategical.
We've had a lot of success at Hamilton, and we've been very fortunate, but that moment was as good as any moment I've had. Winning that game, we had a little team meeting in the dugout, and we're kind of going over horizon, and the attitude in the dugout from the team was just confidence, and we got this, and I would tell them, well, Horizon does this, and they were just like, Coach, don't worry about Horizon. And I really felt it. I remember afterwards I told Coach Spears, I said, we're going to win tomorrow. I mean, even though we were heavy underdogs, would you not agree?
Absolutely.
We were the heavy underdogs, but you were in the dugout that afternoon, and the determination in their faces and their voices, it was pure confidence. We got it. And, so we went out, and the championship we played a great game. And CJ went the distance, pitched 7 innings. So we pitched 18 innings in 6 days, which is crazy, but it was pretty special. After the game, across the field, Coach Kilber came over and he just looked at me and he says, "You played the perfect game," and we did. And we didn't make any mistakes that night. And CJ was brilliant, and you know, and we got our first title.
It was just a magical night. I mean, you never forget it. Just from, you know, the morning you woke up all the way to, you know, when you went to sleep after, you know, prom night.
They were a team through and through. They played for each other, and that's a winning combination right there.